Welcome. Today we're going to look at the connection diagram. I'm going to show you how easy it is to connect a digital view controller with an LCD panel using a connection diagram as a guide. To help with this, we would use the Controller Solution Generator, or CSG, which you can find on our website. Click CSG in the toolbar, enter the panel model number you're using and click the search. If the panel is stored in our database, it will be listed here, and you'll click the plus button will tell you which controllers we have diagrams for. Click on one of the controllers, the DT1920 HDMI, and click download, and that will bring up the connection diagram. The connection diagram will tell you the model name of the controller and also of the panel. It will also tell you the date the diagram was constructed and if there have been any revisions. The key elements of the diagram are the panel, the LCD controller, the power supplies, the main cables, which are LVDS, the backlight and the power cables, and then any optional accessories. So under the panel details, we will tell you the manufacturer, the model reference, the resolution, the panel voltage, and what type of backlight. The controller, we will tell you the model number and the part number and if there are any specific settings. Let's begin to look at the cables and how they connect. Firstly, we have the LVDS cable. This is connected from the panel to J3 on the controller. The backlight cable connects from the panel through to the controller to CNB1, but some backlights require a connection to a power supply. Some backlights may require settings in the OSD menu. They will be shown on the diagram as an example here. The power cable connects between the power supply and PP2 on the controller. This controller has a HDMI input, but has a couple of options for connection. One is CN3, which is a header, and then P3, which is an edge connector. Now to look at the optional accessories, starting with the mini click buttons or the membrane pads. These are for the OSD control and they connect to CNC1. If you prefer to use a remote control, then you can connect an IR sensor to IR1. Another option for control is through serial or RS232. A cable is connected to CN8. Most of our controllers have an onboard status LED, but you can also connect an external status LED to the LED1 connection. If you would like to automatically dim the backlight depending on the ambient light, this can be achieved using an optional light sensor connected to CN6 on this controller. If your solution's using audio on the HDMI cable, then you can take the line-out stereo audio from CN14. Some panels have a backlight status option. To use this, you'll need to connect a cable to our CNB2 connector as an input. JP6, many reasons why panels and controllers do not power up. A 2-pin header requires a jumper to allow power to the controller. When open, no power is sent to the controller. All our controllers have panel timings stored in firmware, and these are selectable through the dip switches on SW1 and SW2. We will propose how the dip switches need to be set, shown in the diagram highlighted now. JB5 is used for selecting the backlight control type, so whether you're dimming the backlights using digital or analog. Depending on the backlight being used, JB1 will need to be set for the voltage range, JB2 set for the signal level for the on-off control, and JB3 set for the signal polarity. And finally, JA3, this is the panel power voltage selection. It could be 3.3, 5 or 12 volts for this controller. Thank you for watching. We hope it's been useful. If you have any questions, please get in touch with your local Digital View office.